progress is being made, right? Yeah, I got quite a bit done here. And I brought the other head over to start mapping it out too. Uh, Let me show you what I got. So the exhaust ports on this head are now done. Well, I say done. I still got to get like some sanding rolls or something and actually like polish it out, right? Just kind of clean up the stone, the the smooth it out a little bit, okay? But otherwise, the actual shaping part is done. Even though when I go to smooth it out, I'm sure I'll probably mess with it even more at that point because I can't leave well enough alone. So I'm sure I'll spend even more time on it than I'm planning on doing. But let me show you, what we got here, and I mapped out exactly how much we got to cut on these exhaust ports here. So this is basically a before and after. Yeah, they're a bit different, right? I got all of them cut out, widened on the top, heads upside down, remember? Widened up here at the top, left the bottoms alone, and just kind of tapered it like that, and then actually raised the port quite a bit too. I mean, I raised it about that much, so it's a decent chunk of iron that's come out of these things. So that should help the exhaust flow quite a bit, I'm assuming, right? I took out or took down rather, the Boss guide there, the valve guide, because it just kind of seemed like wasn't really doing too much there. So, and I got them all about as close to each other as possible. This one I dipped just a little bit lower than the rest of them, but it's not enough to really even worry about. It's still within margin here. So that is all done, right? And as you can see, I kind of started working a little bit in the bowl area, just a touch. I just barely touched. Well, there's nothing right there, but just barely touched it, right? Now, the next big project we got are these intake bosses, valve guides, whatever. What are they called? Are they called bosses or valve guides? I have no idea what you would call that, but oh, it's gonna be hard for you to see down there, isn't it? Okay. That big hump right there, that's what the air is smacking into as soon as it tries to get, into the chamber. So we're taking that, and I have gotten it to that point right there. I am leaving some support on this intake side. I completely gutted the exhaust, but I think I'm going to leave it just kind of similar to that on the intake side. Still working on it, but that's kind of what we got so far, right? Well, I mean, like I said, I still got a lot of messing about to do on it, but that's the idea, going from that, right, into this, right, and then kind of touching up the rest of this while we're at it. I mean, just kind of widening that bowl, I think, because it really kind of tapers down in here. I just kind of want to open that up just a little bit, I'm thinking, right? So that's my next big project. I want to get this head done, okay? That's the goal, to get this head done. And then once the guides are cut down, we'll move on to the chambers. And, you've seen it before, but I believe the chambers are going to be the quickest to get done, because I'm not like digging into places, inside the ports, trying to like take massive amounts of metal away. We're just really kind of refining, the chamber and softening it up. So hopefully that will be one of the quicker things to do. Then we can move on to the other head. And again, this is what we want to accomplish. We want to get rid of all of this ridges right here. Want to get rid of this ridge right here. Open this side up for the exhaust to flow into. Okay. Open this side up for the intake to flow out. Right, like that. Okay. And just kind of soften up the edges a bit. And that's all we're after. So that should hopefully go quicker. We just gotta start working on this. And as soon as we're done with that, then we'll take the heads and the pistons, mind you, and the old piston and rod assembly on our new pistons, and bring it all to the machine shop, have them clean them, see what we need to do about this valve job here. We might have to get actually like touch up the valve seats, right? Because I don't know if I nicked them or not really. It doesn't really look like I have at all, but you know, there's still time for that. And I purposely left the valve job stuff for last, just in case we need to touch it up. Remember, these are still the stock size valves. I mean, really, if I mess it up, we'll just put bigger valves in and just, you know, hone it out, and they'll clean everything I could have possibly done to them up. So I'm not really worried about that part at all yet. But we'll get them all cleaned up, machine shop, and get them done, along with the pistons cleaned up, put on the rods so that we can assemble our short block, and that'll be that. Now I know, right? I know some people are going to get in the chat, right, and say, well, you got to make sure you do this to them, or you got to make sure you do that to them, right? You know, oh, you got to focus on this more than that, or you got to get like a 3-5 angle valve job because that's where the best performance is going to come from. You know, don't just lap the valves in, or you know, this and that, right? You got to keep in mind what this is all about, okay? These heads just have to be better than the ones that are currently, you know, the engine itself has to just be better than what we currently have, which isn't going to be very hard. Literally, I could just do this exhaust on both heads, call it a day, and it would be better, you know, miles better than what we had now, right? Because I mean, you know, look at this. You know, I mean, again, we got this, right, big wide open, versus this tiny little dinky ports, right? I mean, just doing that alone is going to be, you know, leagues above what we've already got going on, right? We're not like, you know, trying to make the most power, you know, out of a small block Ford that's the world's ever seen out of these things or anything like that. This is just you know, just to be a little bit better. This is the middle motor, okay? We have AFR Renegade 165 ported cylinder heads, right? That aluminum, that's going to go on the good engine. This is the middle engine. This is, you know, you got to take things in perspective. Is all I'm saying. Now, I've come up with a backup plan, right? Because we're getting down to the wire here, okay? And getting a whole engine built, we got like a month until no name. Getting a whole engine built, getting the head porting done, and getting you know, all the valve train worked out, getting the camshaft worked out, getting this and that and everything else all worked out, right? I mean, we're kind of mad scrambling here. We're going to give it our best shot to get it done, right? But there is a 23% chance we actually make it. Get it done before no name. So I have a backup plan, okay? I am going to get these heads completed at the very least, okay? If I can manage to get the heads done you know, a little ways before this happens, you know, and we get a little closer and, you know, we can see the writing on the wall, like, hey, it ain't gonna happen, we can take these heads that we ported, and put them on the 302 that's already in the car, right? We can tear the whole top of the engine off, you know, just kind of blindfold ourselves as we're putting the you know, these heads on, because we don't want to see all the, I mean, the engine is not fresh, okay? It's a worn out, and there's, you know, that tick, there, it has a tick. The tick's been there for literally 15 years. I have no idea what it is. It's either a lifter or, you know, something in the bottom end. I have no idea. But I spray nitrous on it. It works like a charm. So the tick doesn't seem, but you know, maybe we'll pull a lifter or two and just kind of see, oh, that one's wiped out. We'll just put that in, pretend we didn't see it. Put these heads on. Push rod length, that's going to be another nightmare, if, you know, because these are pedestal mounted heads, where the old ones are stud mounted. So now we got to worry about push rod length and all this and that with that. But that is another option. We can put these heads on the engine that's already in the car, just real quickly, Hail Mary attempt before No Name Nationals, and try to get it all put back together again and make it work. And then find out it doesn't work, or the fact that we like cracked this egg, you know, opened her up, and then all of a sudden what little magic was keeping it running in the first place just runs out of it as we open it up, and then just it falls apart on us. But you know, if it happens, it happens. But I don't really see it happening that way. The big thing will just be the push rod length. Is you got to figure that out, right? That's going to be the #1 issue between these pedestal mounted heads and the stud mounted heads that are in there now. So that is the plan. We're either going to have a whole nother engine done by then, or we're just going to have these heads, ported heads though, hand ported by yours truly, okay, on the car for No Name Nationals. That's the goal, one way or another. Because unfortunately we can't run nitrous at No Name Nationals, because, well, you need a fire suit to run nitrous, which we don't have, and I am not getting. Well, you need a drive shaft safety loop to run slicks, which I don't have, and probably not getting by No Name Nationals. Yeah, so our nitrous power adders, you know, we got to beat LNA AutoWorks, which we could probably do just by pushing it down the, you know, drag strip, obviously. But he, you know, we got to beat the guy. You know, you know, Spray Paint Boy, we got to take Spray Paint Boy out, okay? You know, it's the Iron Horse versus, I think, Scrap Metal. Oh no, Death Trap. I think his car's name is Death Trap. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna start grinding away. That's the update. I'll catch you next time. Okay, I gotta move.